Hello guys, today we are going to the movie review. Movie name is Dead Poets Society 1989 is a poignant drama directed by Peter Weir that explores themes of individuality, conformity, and the transformative power of poetry. The film starred Robin Williams as Jones, getting an inspiring English teacher at the Conservation and prestigious Waltham Academy. Williams delivers a memorable performance, capturing Keating's passion for teaching and his belief in encouraging students to seize the day. Captain, the story revolves around a group of boys who are inspired by Keating to think independently and pursue their dreams, challenging the strict traditions of their schools. The film delves into their personal struggles, friendship, and the impact of Keating's unconventionally teaching method. It beautiful portrays the clash between societal expectations and personal inspirations, visual and narratively. The film is both inspiring, emotionally moving, emphasizing importance visually and narrative. Visually and narratively, the film is both inspiring and emotionally moving, emphasizing the importance of self-expression and cues. The supporting cast, including Ethan Hawke, Robert Sean, Leonardo, and including Ethan Hawke, Robert Sean, Leonardo, and Josh Carls, delivers compelling performance that deepens the film's emotional resonance. Overall, Dead Poets Society is a timeless film that encourages viewers to find their voice and live authentically. It's a powerful message combined with Robin Williams' heartfelt performance make it a must-watch for anyone interested in stories about education, inspiration, and the human spirit. Dead Poets Society 1989 full movie review. Dead Poets 1989 full movie. Dead Poets Society directed by Peter Weir is a profoundly moving and enough-provoking film that explores the transformation power of education, the importance of individuality, the enduring impact of mentorship. Released in 1989, the film has since become a classic, renowned for its compelling performance, poetic storytelling, and powerful themes that resonate across generations. Plot summary and themes. Set in 1959 at the Conservation and Elite Waltham Academic Boarding School, known for its rigorous discipline tradition. The story follows a group of bright, ambitious young boys who are eager to carve out their own initiative in a world that often seeks to suppress their individuality. The narrative is centered around the arrivals of Jones, Keating, and unconventional and passionate English teacher who challenged the strict conformist atmosphere of the school's getting encouraged his students to think independently, embrace their passions, and seize the moment, embodying the famous prescribed thought. The unorthodox teaching styles such as standing on desk to see the world differently and encouraging students to read poetry aloud, inspiring the boys to rediscover the beauty and power of literature and self-expression. The film explored themes of conformity versus individually, the importance of free thought, and the course needs to pursue one's dreams despite society pressure. The story takes a poignant turn as the student, inspired by getting reviews at Poetic Society, a secret club where they gather to read poetry and share their enormous feeling. The act of rebellion against the school rigid rules symbolize their desire for freedom and authenticity. However, the narrative also delves into the tragic conjunction of social and familial expectations, culminating in a heartbreaking climax that underscores the fragile nature of hope and the human spirit. Performance and character dynamic. Robin Williams delivers a career-defining performance as John Keating. His portrayals exude warmth, enthusiasm, and a genius belief in the potential of his student Williams. Charismatic, present, and heartfelt delivers influence the characters with a sense of mentorship and inspiration that elevates the films. His scans inspire viewers to reflect on the importance of passionate teaching and the profound influence and dedicated educator can have. The ensemble cast including Ethan Hawke as Toadette Anderson, Robert Leonardo as Neil Perry Jones, Carly as Snow Overstreet, and Carol Hansen as Charlie Devleton, each bring depth and authenticity to their roles. Ethan Hawke portrayals of the shy, insecure to evolve into a journey of self-discovery. Will Neil Perry's tragic story highlighting the Dead Poets Society 1999 in-depth review. Dead Poets Society is a masterful film directed by Peter Weir that explores the profound influence of education, the importance of individuality, and the power of inspiration. Since its release in 1989, it has remained a timeless classic, inspiring audiences around the world with its heartfelt storytelling, memorable performance and enduring themes. The film is not merely a story about a student and a teacher, it is a meditation of the human condition, the struggle for authenticity, and the cues required to live passionately. Plot overview: set in 1559 at prestigious and conservation Walton Academy as light boarding school dedicated to traditional discipline and academic excellence. The story introduces us to truth to of talented, ambitious boys who are expected to follow a strict path laid out by their families and society. The school's ethos emphasizes for failure, traditions, honor, discipline, and excellence. Into this rigid environment arrives on getting played with infectious enthusiasm by Robin Williams. Keating is an unconventional passion English teacher who encourages his students to think for themselves, challenge the status quo, and find their own voice. Keating's teaching methods are orthodox. He advocates for the appreciation of poetry, the importance of seizing the day, and the need to view the world through different perspectives. He inspires the boys to look beyond the confidence of their disciplines, live and discover the beauty and emotional richness of literature and life itself. The student initially hesitated begins to embrace getting teaching, leading to the reveals of the scripted Poet Society, a club where they gather clandestinely to read poetry, share ideas, and revel in their newfound freedom. The act of resurrecting the student initially hesitated, began to embrace getting teaching, leading to the revival of the secret Red Poet Society, a club where they gather clandestinely to read poetry, their idea, and revel in their newfound freedom. The act of escorting the society become a symbol of rebellion against the society and become a symbol of rebellion against society and presidential expectations, desire for individually and the quest of harmony beyond academic achievement. However, beneath the surface of this awakening are deeper conflicts, personal, familiar, and social that threaten to unravel. The student lives nailed. Perry, one of the most prominent characters, is a talented and passionate boy who dreams of becoming an actor, but his domineering father has other plans for him, emphasizing a career in medicine. Nels struggles reconciling his own aspirations with his father's authority culminates in tragedy, highlighting the devastating consequences of represent dreams and authorization's control. Themes and message: the power of inspirations. It is the coup did both society celebrate the transformations, power of inspiring teaching and mentorship. Robin Williams' portrayals of getting explains how a teacher a passion can ignite a spark within students, encouraging them to pursue their passions and think independently, individually, and conformantly. The film explores the tension between social expectation and personal authenticity. The students argue between the conformist pressure of their environment and their desire for forge their own paths. The film advocates for embracing one's true self and resisting conformity. The ephemeral nature of youth and dreams, the nails, fragile faith, and the fleeting moment of rebellion and joy. The film underscores the preciousness of youth and the importance of living authentically before time rules out. The role of literature and art. Poetry and literature serve as tools for emotional expressions, self-discovery, and understanding the human expressions, getting emphasizing on appreciating poetry underscore its power of to inspiring and connection individuals rebellions. The film examines the conflict between authenticity figures, parental teacher institutions, and the young individuals seeking independence. Neil's story explores the risk and reward of standing up for oneself, performance, and directions. Robin Williams delivers a career defines. Director Peter Weir skillfully balanced moment of human inspirations and trials, crafting a narrative that is both uplifting the heartbreaking. The cinematography and the soundtrack complement the emotional tone, creating a cinematic experience that embraces viewers in the world of Elton Academy, impact and legacy. The Edward Society has left an indelible mark on popular culture and education. Its iconic scans, such as Getting, Standing, Desk to View the World Differently, are the student reacting poetry with passions have become symbols of rebellions, inspirations, and the importance of thinking outside the box. The film encourages viewers to reflect on their own generation, reminding us of the necessity of authenticity, courage, and pursuit of dream. Final thought: Dead Poet Society is more than just a film, a teacher, and his student is timeless ode to the human spirit and the transformative power of indie education. Its emotional depth, inspiring performance, and profound themes make it a must read for anyone interested in stories about growth, cures, and the pursuit of meaning. Robin Williams' heartfelt portrayals of John's Keating continue to inspiring audience to live passionately and think independently. In conclusion, Street Food Society is a beautiful, crafted, emotional, resonant film that challenges viewers to seize the day, embrace their individuality, and find their voice amidst the noise of social expectations. It is a cinematic treasure that encourages us all to reflect, dream, and life. Author expectation is a cinematic treasure that use all the reflect, dream, and life authentically. Read Board Society 1989, an exhaustive and in-depth analysis. Read Board Society is a cinematic masterpiece that transcends the boundaries of simple school drama to become a profound meditation on human's existence, the essence of education, and the enduring power of inspirations. Directed by Peter Weir and featuring a legendary performance by Robin Williams, this film has cemented its place in cinematic history as one of the most emotionally compelling and thought-provoking stories ever told. Introductions and context set against the backdrop of 1959 is in the hallowed halls of Belton Academy, a prestigious, traditional, and highly disciplined boarding school. Street Food Social explore the lives of young men at a pivotal stage of the highly disciplined boarding school. Street Poets Society explored the lives of young men at a pivotal stage of their development. The film delves into themes of conformity versus individually authority versus self-expectations and the quest for authenticity in a society that often supporting both Walton academic embodies the value of traditions, honor disciplines, and excellence, which are ingrained into the student for the moment they step out onto campus. This value plot break, breakdown and narrative arcs. Introduction to Wealth and the Student. The film opens with scans depicting the disciplines routines of Wealth's academic, highlighting its strict rules and emphasizing on traditions. We are introduced to a diverse group of students, each with their own aspirations and struggle. Among them are Neil Perry, a talented boy with dreams of acting, or Steven Mix and Richard Cameron interpreting differently. Plot breakdown and narrative arc. Introductions to Walton and the Student. The film opens with scans depicting the disciplined routines of Walton's academy, highlighting its strict rules and emphasis on traditions. We are introduced to a diverse group of students, each with their own aspirations and struggles. Amongst them are Neil Perry, a talented boy with dreams of acting, towards Edison's Asai and excuse, however, no abstract Zeus, who is infatuated with the girls named Chris Charlie. Talented boy with the dreams of acting, toward Edison's Asai and insecure, no secure knows out streets or Sally, who is infatuated with a girl named Grace Sarlins. Dalton, a rebellious and outspoken student, and others like Stephen Smith and Richard Cameron, each representing different facets of the student body. Introduction of John Keating. Keating's arrival is marked by his charismatic teaching style, standing on desks, encouraging students to look at poetry and life from the new perspective and advocating for seizing the day. His unorthodox method and passionate approach immediately contrast with the conservation atmosphere of Walton, sparking curiosity and admiration among students. Reviews of the State Poets Society. Inspired by Keating, the boys correctly read the State Poets Society, a clandestine club where they gather to read poetry and explore their feelings. The society symbolized their desire for freedom, self-expression, and connections, an act of rebellion against the slaving environment of the schools and society. Neil Perry's dreams and family conflict. Neil Perry's character arc is controls to the emotional core of the film. Despite his passion for acting and desire to uh, pursue rather needs rather. Mr. Perry insists on a traditional career reform path in desire. Madison's internal struggles between his dreams and his gather authority culminates in a tragic decisions to take his own life, a heartbreaking moment that underscored the destructive potential of authoritarian control and suppression of individuality. Climax and resolution. The climax occurs when Neil's death prompts the schools to crack down on the student and the relieved society getting face representations and the students are pressured to conform, however, in a powerful act of rebellion and respect for getting the student stand on their desk, reacting, getting words and affirm their independence and admirations for him. One day, once them saw their defeats and their recognitions of the importance of living authentically, themes and philosophical underpinning, the power of the power of inspirations and mentorship. Critic embodies the idea that teachers can profoundly influence lives by inspiring students to think freely, question authority, pursue their passions. His teaching serve as a catalyst for self-discovery, emphasizing that educationally so net nurtures the wow person not just through memorizations. The conflict between conformity and individuality. The film brilliantly explores how social expectation and family pressures can support personal dreams. Nail's tragic story exemplifies the devastating consequences of Danning one's true self in favor of conformity, the ephemeral nature of youth and dreams needs tragic death underscores the fleeting nature of youth and importance of seizing opportunities before they are lost. The film encourages viewers to live passionately and authentically embracing the beauty and vulnerability of youth. Literature and art as vehicles of self-expression. Poetry is depicted as a visual tool for emotional expression and understanding, getting emphasizing on the appreciation of poetry, highlighting its role is fostering empathy, insight, and personal growth. Authority rebellions ensues. The tensions between the authoritarian figures, parents, school administration, social norms, and the student desire for independence embodies the universal struggle for self-assertion. The student act of rebellion serve as reminders of the importance of standing up for one's beliefs, characters, analysis, Keating, Robin Williams. Keating is the heart and soul of the film. His passion for teaching, love for poetry, and genius care for his students inspire them to see the world differently. Williams portrays balance humor, warmth, and sense, curly making Keating an enduring symbol of mentorship and inspirations. Neil Perry, Robert C. Leonard, Neil's characters embodies youthful passions and struggles to find one's voice. His talent and dreams clash with his father's expectations, leading to his tragic and a story warms of the dangers of authoritarian control and the importance of nurturing individuals' aspirations toward adolescence and have initially say an insecure or journey is one of self-discovery with getting encouragement. He begins to find his voice, overcoming fears and gaining confidence. His characters arc symbolize root cause and the power of supportive mentorship. Knox or Street Josh Carlin. A romantic and idealistic boy knows pursuit of love symbolizes hope and the desire to live fully. His journey is about overcoming obstacles and embracing passions. Charlie Dalton's rebellions and outspoken Carly challenge authority, openly embodying youthful defeats and the spirit of rebellion. Richard Cameron's a more conservative student who initially conforms but later begins to question authority, illustrating the internal conflict faced by many young people's cinematography and soundtrack. The film's cinematography complements its poetic themes with warm lighting and evocating emergency that captures moments of beauty, introspections, and rebellions. Key scans such as getting standing on his desk for the student reacting poetry are shot with the reverse and intimacy. The soundtrack features a blend of classic music and poetic actions that evoke emotions and underscore the film's themes of inspiration, longing, and awakening, cultural impact, and legacy. The poet's society has had a lasting impact on popular culture and education. Its iconic scans and quotes such as "Oh Captain, my Captain" and Katie standing on his desk have become symbol of rebellion and inspirations. The film has inspired countless educators, students, and artists, emphasizing the importance of a patience, critical think, and living authentically. The film also sparked discussion about the role of mentorship in education and the importance of fostering creativity and individually in school. It has been used as educational tools and source of inspiring of teachers and students alike. Criticisms and controversies will widely acclaimed and the The film has faced some criticisms, mainly regarding its romanticized portrayals of authoritarian figures and the idealization of rebellious youth. Some critics argue that the films oversimplifies complex issues related to authority, mental health, and tragedy. Nonetheless, its emotional truth and a powerful message continue to resonate. Conclusion: Street Food Society is a cinematic gift that challenges used to reflect on their own lives and the importance of living authority. It's celebrating to the performance. Conclusion: Deed Foods is a cinematic gift that challenges viewers to reflect on their own lives and the importance of living authentically. It celebrates the transformative power of education, the enduring impact of mentorship, and the course required to purpose pursue one's dream. Robin Williams' heartfelt performance and the film's poetic storytelling make it a timeless classic that remains relevant across generations. These films remind us that life is fleeting and the true purpose of education is not merely to membership facts but to inspire individuals to think critical strives for their lives. Personally, it is a call to seize the day, embrace our individuality, and honor the voice within us that here to be heard. This Poet Society 1989, an ultimate in-depth and exhaustive analysis. The Poet Society stands as one of the most influential and emotionally resonant films in cinematic history, directed by Peter Weir and featuring a legendary performance by Robin Williams. This film is not merely a story about a student and a teacher, it is a profound meditations on the importance of individual expression, the power of inspirations, and the timeless struggles between conformity and authenticity. From its poetic themes, its compelling character, the film continues to inspire audience decades after its release, surviving as a reminder of the transformative of power of education and enduring human spirit, historical and cultural contact. Set in the 1950s, at the height of lost post-war American conservation state poetic society reflect the social value of discipline, traditions, and academic excellence. While an academic, the setting of the story embodies this ideal, emphasizing conformity, honor, and the pursuit of excellence above all else. It's symbolizes the rigid struggle A detailed plot, a, de- a detailed plot breakdown. A detailed plot breakdown. Introduction, the setting, and the character. The film opens with scans of Walton Academic is pristine campus, its grand architecture display. Students enter the serene atmosphere of traditions. The audience is introduced characters. Neil Perry, a charismatic and talented boy with a passion for acting. Todd Anderson, a shy, insecure new student haunted by feelings of inadequacy. Knox Overstreet, a romantic dreamer eager to pursue love's Charlie Dalton rebellions and outspoken challenge authority still meets academic capital but reserved. Richard Cameron's compromised who value rules and tradition. The film stabilized the strict recommended routines of Walton, emphasizing its value thought voice-over classroom scans and visuals. Embrace these scans, set the tones, representation and conformity that pervades the environment. Introductions of John Keating, catalyst of change. When John Keating arrives as the new English teacher, his unconventional teaching style is immediately apparent. His energetically personality orthodox methods such as standing on desk using poetry to inspire and encouraging personality student to see literature as a means of personal reflection and is emphasizing on care. Sabdim set him apart from the traditional teachers at Walton. Eating philosophy challenged the status quo encourage students to think critically, questions authority, and embrace their passions. His famous words, no matter what embodied tells you, words and ideas can change the world. Insatiable his missions to inspire young minds, reviving the deep sports society, inspiring by getting teaching the boys, scarcely living the day. Read Poet Society, the script club where they read poetry, short story, and explore their innermost feeling. The society become a symbol of rebellion, freedom, and the pursuit of personal truth. Sketch of clandestines meeting in the woods, recitation of poetry with patience, and the boys embrace their individuality, highlighting the importance of creating expressions. Neil Perry's tragedy, a heart-wrenching arc. Neil Perry's storyline is the emotional core of the film. Neil is a naturally gifted actor who dreams of performing class with his father's strict expectations. Where Perry, a stern and authoritarian figure, insists that pursues a career is climax when he chosen to perform in the school's play against his father's wishes, leading to his father disproved and Neil's subsequent despair. Neil's suicide is a devastating turning point. It underscores the destructive potential of obsessive authority and the importance of nurturing personal dreams. The scans is a hunting a stark reminder of the high stakes involved in society and familiar. The climax rebellions in a powerful the climax student inspired toward and notes stand on their desk in a symbolic act of rebellions. They recently getting a word for captains, my captains and my homage to their mentor. This act signifies their rejection of oppressive authority and their affirmations of individual agency. The sketch is a cinematic highlighting capturing the emotional. Capturing the emotions and ideological victory of the student theme, symbol, and message. The power of inspirations and mentorship. Getting the characters embodying the idea that insecure can be catalyst for profound personal change. His enthusiasm, passions, and genius care inspire students to find their own voice and challenge social norms. His influence demonstrates that mentorship, dining one's true self, will the student act of rebellion, symbolizing universal struggle for self-expression, the ephemeral nature of youth and dreams. The next death emphasizing the fleeting nature of youth and the importance of pursuing patience before it looks late. The film urges viewers to seize the moment, embrace their dreams, and live authentically. Literature and art and vehicles of self-discovery. Poetry and literature serve as tools for emotional expressions, empathy, and understanding the human's conditions. Getting a passion for poetry underscore its role in fostering creativity and critical thinking. Authority, rebellions, and cues. The films explore the dynamic of authority figures, parent teachers, institutions, and the importance of rebellion cues in asserting one's identity. The student acts of defiance arcs embodiment of the universal desire for independence, symbol and motives. The task standing scenes scan a symbolic act of rebellion, emphasizing the importance of perspective and standing up for one's beliefs. Crafts of times central themes include lively and authentically poetry and literature, symbol of self-expression, emotional depth, and freedom. Is Soil, a tragic symbol of representation and loss of potential. Characters deep dives on skating, Robin Williams. Williams' poetry is a charismatic, warm, and inspiring, getting passions for poetry and life motivates students to think independently and embrace their passions. His memorable lines such as sharp dives resonate deeply. Williams delivers balance, humor, sincerity, and emotional depth, making Keating an enduring symbol of mentorship and inspiration. Neils Perry Roberts scenes Leonardo his arc escapulate youthful passions, internal conflict, and tragedy. His desire to pursue acting and his ultimate sacrifice, highlighting the devastating effect on authoritarian control. His story urges viewers to respect and nurture individual streams. Toward Anderson's Athens have initially shy and insecure towards transformation, symbolizing the powerful of unsecurement and self-belief. His journey from science to voice exemplifies the importance of mentorship and courage to stand up for oneself. Our streets of Charlie's romantic dreamer of pursuit of love embodies of passions and resilience. His character arc shows that embracing one's belief can lead to personal growth. Charlie's Dalton's rebellions and outspokens. Charlie's challenge authenticity openly. His differential exemplifies youthfully rebellions and a desire for freedom. Cameron's and other Richard Cameron conformation contrast with the more rebellious characters, illustrating internal conflict between obedience and independence. Citizens represent the academical gifted but emotionally reserved student. Cinematic technique use cinematography, bombs, lighting, close-ups on face during emotional moment, and wide shots during rebellions scans evoke intimacy and grandeur. Soundtrack, classic music, and poetic recitations enhance emotional resonance. Camera angles, use of low angles during moment of rebellions of symbolizing and ambience and close-ups during intimate dialogues to intensity, emotional impact, editing, seamless traditions, it scans of joy, tragedy, and rebellions maintains emotionally flows, impact of society and cultural they put social as influenced countless and educators, student and artistic and iconic scans and quotes such as getting standing on his desk and oh captains, my captains, friends have become symbol of rebellions, inspirations, and mentorship. Christmas and controversies. While widely acclaimed, the film has faced criticism for idolizing rebellions and oversimplifying simplifying complex issues like mental health and social pressure. Some critics argue that it romanticizes youthful defiance without addressing the real world conjugations and nouns involved. Nonetheless, its emotional truth and powerful themes have secured its status as a cinematic classic. Final reflection: Deadwood Society is more than a film, it's a call to action. It argues as all of listens to our inner voice, to challenge the status quo and to live with passion and purpose. It's an enduring message that awards ideas that accuse to be true to oneself and idea change the world remains as relevant today as it was over there decades ago. Robin Williams' heartfelt portrayals of John's Keating combined with compelling narratives make his films a timeless treasure. It reminds us that life is fleeting and the greatest achievement is to live authentically, inspiring by the beauty of poetry, life, literature, and the human spirit. Did Poet Society 1989 an ultimate, exhaustive, and profound analysis? Did Poet Society is not just a film, it is a climax, rebellion of individual passions and the transformative power of art and education directed by Peter Weir and featuring a legendary performance by Robin Williams, and the film has become a cultural touchstone inspiring countless viewers worldwide to embrace their inner voice, challenge social norms, and seize the fleeting moment of life. Its themes and are timeless, its characters unforgettable, and its message eternal relevant historical, cultural, and social context. Set in the late 1950s at Walton Academic and allied boarding schools embodying traditions, value, disciplines, honor academic excellence, the film reflects the social norms of post-war Americans. During this era, conformity was widely valued and deviation from social expectation was often met with disapproval or representation. Families, institutions, and community coordinate stabilize traditions and achievement, our personal expressions and emotional authenticity. This 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 context provides a powerful backdrop for the story, highlighting the tension between this social expectation and the Virgin's desire for individuals' freedom, creativity, and self-discovery. Uh, the film subtly critiques the rugged to obsess environment, illustrating how they can suppress passions, creative, and authentic self-thought in the broader cultural landscape. The the film themes echo the universal human struggles to find one's voice amid social pressure and to live authentically. Plot summary and narrative structure. Opening scans stabilizing the setting and atmosphere. The film begins with swiping shots of Felton's grand campus. It's steadily including sprawling, grounded, and disciplined student voiceover. It introduces the school's core value. Traditionals honor discipline, excellence. These idols are depicted as both admirals and oppressive, sitting in the rooms for the story. Explorations of conformity versus individuality. Introductions of key characters made very charismatic, talented, and passionate about acting and to adolescents, say introverted and now haunted by self-doubt, knockout straight, romantic, hopeful, eager to pursue love. Charlie Dalton's rebellions outspoken, challenging authority. Steven Meeks intelligent but reserved. Richard Cameron obedient rules but conformist. Rival of John Keating. Robin Williams' charismatic performance as John Keating introduces a breath of fresh air into Walton's. His orthodox teaching method, standing on desk, encouraging students to look at poetry differently, immediately set him apart from the traditional faculty. His philosophy is centered on inspiring students to lively, think critically, and find their own voice. Viewing the Dead Poets Society, inspiring by Keating's teaching, and boys secretly review the Dead Poets Society, a clandestine gathering where they read poetry, share their feelings, and explore their passions. Scans of secret meeting in the woods, reading of poetry with passions and moment of camaraderie, highlighting the importance of creative expressions and rebellions against repressions. Neil Perry's internal conflict. Neil's journey is provincial, his love for acting and desire to pursue his dreams clash with his father's rigid expectations. Neil's secretly auditioning for a play against his father's voice, leading to conflict and tragedy. He is eventually social underscores the devastating consequences of authoritarian control and perspective of personal dreams, climax, and rebellions. His death, breakdowns of schools, authenticity, getting a reprimand, and a student are pursued to conform. However, in the powerful act of rebellion, the students stand out of their desk, restricting a word and paying home to him, signifying the rejection of authoritarian oppressions and their affirmative independence, resolutions, and reflection. The film concludes with the student acknowledging the enduring impact of getting teaching, emphasizing that true education involves inspiring students to think for themselves, to live passionately, and to carry their individually. Deep dive into themes and philosophy, the power of inspirations and mentorship. Getting amplifies the ideals that teaching are catalyzing for challenging his passions for poetry and life demonstrates and genuine mentorship involved during curiosity, poetry, conflicts, and curiosing critics. Thinking controls uh, by authenticity. Initially, the films widely depict the destructive effect of social and familial conformity. Conversely, the student and act of rebellion standing on desk, reacting body embodies the course needed to break free from social conflict and embraced to self the transitions of youth and the urgency of living fully. Neil Suicide underscored the fragile, fleeting nature of youth and the importance of seizing opportunity before they slip away. The film advocates for a sound and philosophy living in the present, embracing patience and not delaying dreams. Literature and art as vehicles of self-discovery. Poetry and literature serve as powerful tools for emotional expansions, empathy, and understanding. Getting as emphasizing on poetry underscore its role is fostering creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence, authority, and rebellions. The tension between authoritarian figures present school administrator and rebellious student encapsulate the universal struggle for independence. The act of standing on desk becomes a symbol of defense, affirmations of self and respect for authority, eliminations, symbol and its motives. Standing on desk, a symbol of rebellious perspective and standing up for one's beliefs. Carve times a call of to fully embrace passions and not waste time. Poetry and literature symbol of self-expressions, emotional depth and freedom. Tragedy, a stark symbol of representations and lost potentially character analysis and their significations. So, getting Robin Williams. Williams' portrayals capture the warm, fervor, humor, and convention of a teacher who believes in the transformative power of educating his passionate species, uncultured method, and unwavering belief in his student make him inspiring figures, a mentor who embodies the ideals of inspiring individuals to think freely and lively boldly. Nails Perry is a heartbreaking exploration of youthful passion, internal conflict, and fragile conjugations. His desire to pursue acting and his sacrifice reveals the dangers of representing Ramanel's story emphasizing the importance of nurturing individual aspirations and inspiring personal freedom. Todd Anderson's thought character development is a testament to the importance of support and encouragement from a say insecure boy that evolved into conflict individuals willing to stand up for himself and others. His journey highlights that sometimes all it takes a little encouragement to unlock inner strength. Knox outrage or Charles Knox's pursuit of love and his willingness to take risks embodying hope, patience, and wrestling. His characters demonstrates that embedding feeling and taking risks are essential part of living fully. Charlie Dalton, Carl Sanson's Charlie's rebellious spirit challenges authenticity and embodies youthful defiance. His action underscores the importance of questioning rules and authenticity when they conflict with personal integrity. Cameron's and other Richard Cameron's conformity contrast with rebellions, illustrating internal conflict faced by many young people between obedience and independence, cinematic technique, and artistic elements. Cinematography. Use of warm natural lighting during scenes of inspirations and rebellions to evoke emotional warmth. Close-up capturing facial expressions during moment of introspection of rebellions. Wide shots during outdoor scenes emphasizing freedom and perspective, sound and music, classical compositing and poetic recreations, writing emotional dissonance, the use of relentless silence during poignant moment, emphasizing emotional gravity, voice poignant moment, emphasizing moment gravity, which ordinary introduces themes and philosophy, editing and pacing. Seamless transitions between scenes of joy, tragedy, and rebellion, maintaining emotional flow, slow motion during key moments, such the best standing fish can citing impact, cultural impact, and legacy. The Poet Society has inspired generations of individuals, students, and artists. Its iconic scanscating standing on his desk, student dictating poetry have become symbol of rebellions and inspirations. The film has portrayed discussed about the importance of fostering creativity and emotional intelligence. Its educations it has been used in educational tools to promote critical thinking, self-expression, and the importance of mentorship. The phrase craft games has entered popular culture as a rallying cry for living playfully and authentically. Criticisms and controversy. Despite widespread acclaim, some critics argue that the films romanticize rebellions and oversimplifies complex issues such as mental health and social pursuits. It has been criticized for idealizing youthful defiance without addressing the potential conjugations. Nonetheless, its emotional authenticity and powerful message continue to inspire and provoke reflection. Final reflection and philosophical insights. Deadwood's society remind us that education is more not merely about fact. Robin Williams' unforgettable portrayal or Keating symbolizing the enduring power of hope, inspirations, and the human's capacity to forge his world and actions continue to resonate, encouraging us all to live boldly, thinking freely, and Chris's where every moment. Did Poets Society 1989 the Profanity Existed and Profound Analysis? Did Poets Society is a film that trusts its narrative to become a philosophical manifesto about life, education, freedom, and the human spirit. It is a cinematic masterpiece that continues to inspire, challenge, and resonate with audience across generations. His comprehensive analysis aims to explore every nuance, themes, character, and cinematic elements, offering an appropriate understanding of its profound significance. Historical and cultural foundations set against the backdrop of the late 1950s, Jaipur society reflects an era characterized by strict social norms, traditional values, and a culture of conformity. The rigid education environment implies the broader social push of discipline and obedience, often at the expense of creativity, emotional expression, and individuality. The film invites us to reflect on how social structure can both shape and constrain personal development. Narrative arcs and plot dynamics introduction stabilize the atmosphere and value. The film opens with sweeping vistas of Walton's campus setting a tone of grandeur and traditions, voice over narrations emphasizing the school's core values, traditions, honor, discipline, excellence, which are depicted as guiding principles yet also as potential source of repressions. The initial scans introduce the student gratitude. Anderson's notes of street Charlie Dalton, Steven Meeks, and Richard Cameron. These characters symbolize different phases of youth passions, science, rebellion, intellect, and obedience, and their interactions set the stage of the central conflict, the arrival of skating catalyzed the transformations. Robin Williams' portrayal of skating injects volatility into the narrative. His unconscious teaching style, standing on desk, creating poetry passionately, encouraging students to see literature as a mirror of life, so as a stark contrast to the strict disciplines of Walton's getting philosophy rebellious around the idea that education should inspire students to think critically, lively, and embrace their passions. His catastrophe sharp themes become the film's rallying cry, reviving the dead poet society, inspiring by Keating's teachings. The boys can secretly resume the deed poet society, a clandestine club where they read poetry, share their feelings, and explore their innermost selves. The scans of the secret meeting deep in the wood by candlelight, reciting poetry with fervor, highlighting the importance of reading, expansion, and individualism. Neil Perry's tragedy, the heartbreaking arcs. Neil's story is the emotional epicenter. His inherent talent for acting and desire to pursue his dreams clash with his father's strict expectation of a career in medicine. His secret audience for a play his joy and hope, and his father's disapproval build up to a heartbreaking climax. Neil's suicide personal aspiration is underscore the importance of nurturing individual. It representing personal dreams. The sketch is hunting an indelible moment that underscore the stake of conformity, aftermath, and rebellion. His death triggered the risk crisis. Well-turns the school administration and parental seek to suppress dissent and informs conformity. Cheating is reprimanded, and the students are pressured to conform. Yet, amidst represents a spark of rebellion ignites the student lead by truth and knocks that authenticity by standing on their desk, reciting word and paying homage to him. This act to defines symbolizing their rejections to oppressive authority and their affirmation of personal agency. The climax standing on desk and the power of rebellion. The icon is can students standing on desk, reciting poetry and captaining my captains the emotional and ideologically victory of youth our presence. It is a powerful testament to the importance of standing up for one's belief and the enduring influence of mentorship. Conclusion, reflections, and legacy. The film concludes with a reflection on the lasting impact of creating, teaching the student recognize that education involves waking the human spirit, inspiring critical thought, and living passionately. The final skins leave viewers contributing the audience of authentic self-expansion thematic deep dive. The power of inspiration and the rule of mentorship getting embodies the ideal teachers who inspire students to think critically, questions authenticity, and pursue their passions. His conventional methods stimulate curiosity and emotional engagement, illustrating that mentorship can profoundly influence personal growth, conformity versus individuality. The film widely portrayed how social and familial pressure can suppress authentic self-expression. Neil's tragic fate exploits the danger of representation will teach students act of rebellion symbolize hope and resilience. Size the moment crab tames. The philosophy of Charles James urged lively and passionately Neil's tragedy and underscore the urgency of embracing life opportunity before the are lost. Literature and art as vehicle of self-discovery. Poetry and literature serve as powerful tools for emotional expansions and understanding. Keating's emphasizing on poetry, highlighting its role in fostering empty creativity and critical thinking, authority, rebellions, and cues. The conflict between authoritarian figures and rebellious students reflect the universal struggle for independence and self-assertion. The act of standing on desk becomes a potent symbol of resistance and affirmations. This character's analysis. John Williams' portrayal is both charismatic and compassionate. His essential humor and unwavering belief in the transformative power of poetry elevates him to an almost mythic status. Getting awards. Captains become.
And now, if we talk about Knox on the street, George Charles. Knox's pursuit of love and his willingness to take risks exemplify hope, resilience, and the importance of embracing one's feeling. If we talk about Charles, if we talk about Charlie Dalton, Gail Hansen, Charlie's rebellious spirit challenges authority and embodying youthful deficiency and desire for freedom. His character highlights the importance of questioning very rules when they conflict with authenticity. And if we talk about Cameron and others, Cameron's conformism and now, if we talk about cinematic techniques and artistic elements, firstly talk about cinematography. Use of warm, natural lighting during moment of inspiration and rebellion creates an emotional connection. Close up during intense moments capture facial expression and internal struggles, and white shorts during outdoor scenes symbolize freedom and perspective. And if we talk about Sound and music, classic compositions, and poetic recitations, high and emotional resonance, silence during poignant moments emphasize gravity, the voiceover narration reinforce themes and philosophies. If we talk about editing and pacing, seamless transition between scene maintain emotional continuity in slow motion during key moments such as desk, standing scene, high-ends impact, and if we talk about cultural impact and legacy, so now if we talk about that point, society's cultural impact and legacy. That word society has inspired generations of education, students, and artists. Its memorable scenes and quotes such as Keating standing on his desk and the rallying cry of "Oh Captain, my Captain" have become symbols of rebellion, inspiration, and mentorship. The film has encouraged decision on fostering creativity, critical thinking, and emotional intelligence in education. Its core message, living authenticity and seizing the moment, resonate across cultures and eras. The phrase "Cap Diem" has permeated popular culture as a call to live life fully and fearlessly. Now let's talk about criticism, controversy, and debates. While celebrated, that but society has faced critics for romanticizing rebellion and oversimplifying complex issues like mental health, family pressure, and social expectations. Some argue that it idealizes youthful deficiencies without addressing potential consequences for or the importance of social structure. Despite these debates, its emotional authenticity and enduring message continue to inspire and provoke reflection. And if we talk about philosophical and educational insights, the film invites viewers to reflect on the purpose of education. It's merely is it merely about acquiring knowledge or about knowledge awakening the human spirit. Keating's philosophy emphasizes the latter, educating students or to think independently, feel deeply, and live passionately, and it advocates for a balanced approach where discipline tradition coexist with creativity, emotional intelligence, and personal growth. And now, if we talk about its final reflection, the Dead Bird Society is a timeless testament to the transformative power of inspiration, mentorship, and living authentically. It challenges views to question authority, embrace their passions, and seize the fleeting moments of life. Robin Williams' portrayal of Katie and Diaz as a symbol of hope, reminding us that the world, ideas, and courage can indeed change the world. The film's enduring legacy lies in its universal message to live fully, think freely, and honor the voice within us. And now let's talk about more about this movie. It will take a little time, so you have to wait. I apologize for that, but you have to wait for a little. Okay, so it's okay, done. So now let's talk about Edward Society 19 and the most exhaustive and profound analysis ever. Edward Society is not merely a film, it's a cultural phenomenon, a philosophical exploration, and a poetic ode to life, education, and the human potential. It challenges viewers to reflect deeply on their own existence, social norms, and the transformative power of authentic self-expression. These analysis aims to dissect every element of the film's themes, character, cinematography, historical context, cultural impact, and philosophical underpinnings with unparalleled depth and detail. And if we talk about historical, cultural, and social context, if we talk about post-war America and era of conformity set in 1959 to 1960, the film captures a period marked by social stability but also underlying tension. The United States was experiencing economic growth but also a strong emphasis on conformity, discipline, and traditional institutions like World and Academy optimize this environment where success was measured by academic achievement, adherence to rules, and social reputation. The culture shift of the 1960s and beyond, although the film is set before the tumultuous 1960s, subtly furthers the coming view of cultural change, questions authority, advocating for civil rights, and embracing counterculture ideas. And the tension between strict tradition and bargaining individualism is central to understanding the characters' struggles. If we talk about education philosophy of the time, the prevailing education philosophy prioritize rote memorization, discipline, uh, and transmission of the classic knowledge. Creativity and emotional expression were often secondary, viewed as a distraction or signs of weakness. That boy society critic this approach, advocating for an education that nurtures the whole person, mind, heart, and spirit. And now, if we talk about detailed plot breakdown and narrative structure, opening sequence setting the tone. The film opens with majestic shots of well-turned historic campus, severe covered walls, expensive grounds paired with voice-over narration emphasizing the school's core values, tradition, honor, discipline, excellence. These ideals are presented both as noble and as a potential source of repression. If we talk about introduction of main character Neil, very charismatic, talented, and passionate about acting, embodies youthful potential and internal conflict, and Todd Anderson's shy, insecure yearning for acceptance, an introvert with unstepped depth, and an Oxford Street romantic hopeful, eager to love and be loved. Charlie Dalton rebellious, outspoken, challenging authority and convention. Doug Steven makes intelligent analysis somewhat reserved. Richard Cameron confirms rule follow or represent social pressure to see poetry differently serve as a stark contrast to Burton's rigid discipline. His philosophy sucking the marrow out of life, and Kaptiam emphasizing seizing the day, living passionately and thinking independently sets the thematic tone. If we talk about reviving the dead poet society, the students secretly revive the dead poet society, a clandestine group where they read poetry, share feelings, and explore their passions in scenes to these secret meeting hidden in the woods, lit by candlelight, highlight the importance of creativity expression as a form of rebellion and self-discovery. Neil Perry's internal struggle and H.D. Neil's intense desire to pursue in conflict with his father's strict expectation for him to become a doctor or lawyer. Neil's secret audition and subsequent rejection by his father marked the beginning to his tragic descent. His suicide is the film's devastating climax, symbolizing the destructing consequences of repression and authoritarian control. Neil's death underscores the importance of nurturing individuality and respecting personal dreams, warning about the danger of a repression environment. So it was a review of this movie. I hope you like it and you enjoyed it. And if there was any mistake in this video, then I apologize for that. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. See you on next video.